Molasses is all about stimulating appetite in the cows and also meeting the energy deficiency in the cows. When you get those right on a dairy farm, it equals more milk in the vat and more profit for the farmer.
Basically having the cows up to speed more come calving with body weight condition continuing through the season and getting those cows in calf earlier to get those production days.
Cows need energy to produce milk, and they can't always get enough from the pasture that they're eating. Molasses provides a readily available energy source, particularly to rumen microbes, and the rumen microbes provide at least 80% of the cow's energy requirements. As a result of that, they can then produce more milk. The conception rates have been shown to improve with molasses, and it's an extension of this energy supply. Because, as I said, one of the things you've got to do is maintain that pregnancy, and if cows are short of energy, they will terminate that pregnancy.
This year we've found through feeding molasses during the mating period, we've used a lot less seeders, and mating has been a lot more compacted than what we've previously had.
Prior to using molasses, I used to run basically 12% empty rates, 25 to 30% seedering. Now I have a 3% empty rate, and seedering I don't do.
Key benefits of molasses at that time is you usually got dull, cold days with no sunlight, so molasses is a great feed of liquid energy coming in to support those cows and support those bugs in that period when the pasture's generally either autumn saved or a bit down in energy, maybe rising in protein, but at that time molasses can work exceptionally well to just increase the appetite of that dairy cow for low dry matter pasture.
In spring I find with your pastures being high in protein and stuff like that, it seems to make more of a balance to them, give them that opportunity like when the weathers are cold, wet days and stuff like that, where they don't lose so much body weight and keep their production at a consistent level.
Many areas in New Zealand dry up during the summer, and so the grass growth declines. The problem then is that you quite often see a drop in milk production as feed supply worsens. If you feed molasses at this time, you can not only extend the lactation, but you can also increase the condition of the cows.
In summer the grasses do change, and we find that it keeps a little bit of heat stress out of the cow, and again aids in the production side.
In the summer period we find those fibre levels, often described as NDF, rise significantly from November onwards, so molasses is very, very good at actually diluting away that NDF because unfortunately molasses has no fibre in it. In autumn we tend to have a mini spring going on there as well, so we're basically supplying energy into the system that may not be there, or the protein levels often rise again in that time, so we're making up for that sort of problem that we have with seasonal effects on grass that may well be growing quite well at that period but deficient in energy again.
In autumn is a benefit when the pastures are fresh and makes you be able to extend that lactation out to a period of getting a full lactation length out of your dairy cow.
A lot of farmers dry off according to condition score, and the problem with that is it's very difficult to get that condition back in time for calving. The other thing is that the longer you extend the lactation, the more money you're going to make, assuming that the feeds are cost effective.
Well, this winter being now, I'm actually feeding a part of my herd, probably about 30% of my herd, with straight molasses in the paddock just for reasons of body gain, getting body weight back on them and just getting them ready for calving for next season.
There's very little grass growth in a lot of areas during winter, and so again what you're trying to do is find a readily available energy source to keep the cow's condition on them and to start preparing them for the next lactation. It can also be used as a vehicle to make sure that you're getting magnesium into those cows during that dry period.
In winter, cows are often going on to this autumn save type pasture, which in many ways is rather gutless because it's lost a lot of its energy. Some of it's actually dying and there's decay underneath there. So generally, feeding molasses through that period is a great way to improve that kind of pasture, which is actually deteriorating when the truth is actually known and when you look at it carefully.